Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to find an ingredient of that race we might look back on later as having been the path to finding the winner. Well, some good racing on Saturday this week, and the first race we're going to look at is race 8, and our winning factor here, the Hot Hand. Now this is a Class 2, so they can all run a bit, but discussions on this race are definitely going to centre around some very nice 4-year-olds from top stables, horses on the rise. John Size trained Blaze Warrior, and the two from the Tony Cruz yard, I'm a Single Man and the Golden Scenery. Now all of these horses are probably looking towards the Classic Mile next month, when they're going to be asked a further question about whether they can run 1600 metres, but for the moment their assignment is 1400 metres, and two of them have already met twice this season with honours even. And this is the first start this season, race 158 for Blaze Warrior. He's in light green colours, he's in midfield early, while you see I'm a Single Man in those white, tangerine and purple colours out wide. Begins well, but he's unable to get in anywhere, and he drifts back but is still stuck out there for the race. Now, when we get to the 600 metres here, you'll see that Joe Moreira makes a key move to come out into the 3-wide line and onto I'm a Single Man's back. And that looked a winning move in running. He's poised to go straight past him in the run down the stretch. But the Cruise horse, who had a little bit of race fitness under the belt, fights back strongly and is too good despite his tough run. And when it comes to tough runs, things didn't get any better for I'm a Single Man when these two met again next time. And this is race 214, November 28. And from similar draws again, we had a midfield position for Blaze Warrior and a wide run for I'm a Single Man. You see them near each other in the run, but Blaze Warrior always a couple of horses closer to the inside, and I'm a Single Man doing it very tough out wide. And this time, a little bit fitter for that first race. Blaze Warrior goes on with the job to score well, while I'm a Single Man once again very brave in running fourth. Now there's a barrier switch around this time with I'm a Single Man drawn inside of Blaze Warrior on Saturday, so I'm sure that's going to give encouragement to plenty of fans to think that he can turn the tables. But I'm a Single Man's stablemate, the Golden Scenery, also gets a nice draw, and he's coming up from a win in the grade below, and we'll take a look at that now. And in deep red colours, the Golden Scenery, he gets well back here over 1200 metres. In fact, he's ridden along just to hold a position in what is not a very testing pace. And that pace slows even more at the 600 metres, allowing him to make some cheap ground up on the front runners. But when the leaders sprint again, they leave him behind, and it doesn't look encouraging. Sha Tin, never one to stop riding his horses. He throws everything at him and keeps him going. And importantly, the leaders are not running any fancy sectionals, as you can see on the heat map, and the Golden Scenery manages to get up on the line. And everything about that run suggests that although he was beaten at 1400 metres first up this season, the Golden Scenery really is looking for this distance. When we take a look at the map for Saturday's race, well, this time Blaze Warrior is the one at the disadvantage against his rivals. They're both drawn lower than him and probably sitting closer to the lead. So the tempo looks okay for all three. The draw favours the Cruise runners. So how do we separate three horses that are relatively evenly matched here? And I've come up with John Size's form, the trainer of Blaze Warrior. The Cruise stable, well, Tony Cruz has been in good form since the start of November, but if you're talking about red hot, then you're talking John Size. You might recall I said at the end of October on this show, we should expect Size to start making a move up the ladder, but even by his standards, this has been exceptional form. 21 wins since November 1, and look at that, 7 wins ahead of the market expectations. So the tip in race 8, Blaze Warrior. His winning factor, the Hot Hand. These are all promising young horses on the rise, but coming out of the hottest barn in town, Blaze Warrior gets my vote. So our other race we're going to take a look at now is race 9, and our winning factor here, the map. And the focus of most fans in this Class 3 will be on two promising horses coming off successive Class 4 wins, Season's Bliss from the Jimmy Ting yard and the unbeaten Romantic Warrior, trained by Danny Shum. But I do think there is a third runner worthy of serious consideration, Handsome 12, down the bottom of the weights. I think those three horses dominate discussions on the event, so let's take a look at what they've been doing. And this is Season's Bliss on November 21. He's in black and white stripes. He's in mid-draw and jumps well, but you see he's beaten for speed by the horses under him, and Vincent Ho lets him drift back just in front of midfield to get in closer to the rail, and he gets a lovely run from there behind an even speed. Vincent gets him out into clear room at the 250 metres, and with some encouragement, Season's Bliss puts his rivals away despite rolling around a little and looking a bit green. A nice win for a horse rising in class here, as does Romantic Warrior. So let's take a look at his most recent offering. And this is race 202. He's had both his starts at Happy Valley, and in the aqua colours he isn't fast to begin here, and has only three behind him as they settle down in what is a relatively soft tempo. But Joe Moreira finds the rail, fences up behind the leaders rounding the circle, and puts him into a striking position for when the serious work starts. And note on the heat map, not much speed the first 800 metres here. The leaders sprinted hard from the 400 metres, but Romantic Warrior still picks them up fairly comfortably. A great win to the eye there from Romantic Warrior, and he's rising in class, a winner up in class, a factor we do like to pay attention to. But there is a third angle to this race, and that is Handsome 12. And Handsome 12 stepped out for his first start in Hong Kong. He did previously race in Australia, and he's in whitish colours, gate 3 here. He was long odds in this run and doesn't really have a lot of pace. This is 1200 metres. He drifts back early as the leaders sort themselves out, and Zach Purton takes Lockheed to the front. But you see on the heat map, he isn't breaking any records getting there, and that is critical to how we assess Handsome 12's run, as it's another sprint home like we saw with Romantic Warrior. Now, Jerry Chow angles him out at the 350 metres, and he closes the race off well for third in a race where it wasn't really designed for run-on horses. Now, that wasn't as sexy to look at as Season's Bliss and Romantic Warrior. Certainly winners are always better looking when you see them on the videos, but it was a worthy first attempt by Handsome 12, and he stays in the same grade, Class 3. I don't think there's a lot between them, but we need to look at the map, because I think that's where we might be able to sort them out. The trick to the race could be position in running. We've seen the three of these horses give away starts in their races, and that's not a bad thing in this race, as we have two dedicated leaders in the field, Team Spirit and Mighty Valour, who should ensure a good tempo. The least experienced of the three horses is Romantic Warrior, and I think that inexperience had as much as anything to do with his slow start at Happy Valley. He should be learning all the time and had shown a bit more pace in winning his debut. So on the map here, I suspect Moreira will look to be a little bit positive here and try to have him in front of his two rivals, following the speed and ready to pounce. So the tip in race 9, Romantic Warrior, his winning factor, the map. Now, these are all horses with some upside to them, but I think the fact that we're going to see Handsome 12 give away plenty of start, and we're probably going to see Romantic Warrior a little bit closer than the other two, swings the pendulum in his favour, and I think he can make it 3 from 3. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Saturday. We'll see you next time.